Hello and welcome to this edition of The Big Question. Globalization and technological advances have resulted in exponential growth in both the print and electronic media. The increase in literacy and awareness, coupled with media-friendly policies, have provided the media with unprecedented power. In this era, where everything seems to be going right for the media, is the media going wrong? For the media, the high technological and production costs, coupled with the constraint of suitable content, have proved to be a sort of credibility crisis. For the Public Relations Department, there has been a crisis of professionalism and credibility. To discuss these issues and much more in detail, we have a panel of experts. Our panelists today are Mr. Akhil Gautam. He is a senior journalist and has been the bureau chief for UNI for several years. We have Mr. D.S. Jaspal. He is Principal Secretary, Information and Public Relations for Government of Punjab. He has had 8 stints with the PR department. He is accompanied by Mr. B.S. Sudan. He is Director and Secretary, Information and Public Relations. He's been working in the department for the past 3 years. Welcome, gentlemen. I begin this debate by asking Mr. Gautam, sir, how do you perceive the media now compared to how it was, say, 15 years back?
Well, Aman, during the last 20 years or so, there has been such a tremendous change in the media, both in terms of volumes, numbers, and technological advances, that 20 years back one could never imagine that we would see a period where the number of media people will go up in such a number, such great numbers, that recently I recall a chief minister had called a press conference, and the number of people who attended it made him say in his opening remarks, "My God, is it a press conference or a public rally?" So this speaks for the number, the increase in number of journalists both in print and electronic media. Similarly, the number of newspapers and news channels. 20 years back there used to be only one Doordarshan. Right. Now you have over 160 channels, television channels, beaming into your homes 24 hours a day. And the number of newspapers are also increased. The quality of newspapers, the colors, it used to be black and white era at one time, now it is all colors. So these are the changes which have taken place during these years. And coming to the quality has also undergone a big change. And sitting on one side of the fence, interacting with government public relations people, I feel they're poor guys, that every day is becoming difficult and more difficult.
Coming to you, Mr. Jaspal, you've seen the media from either side of the fence. And how do you see the changing media scenario, not only from the government's point of view, but also from the point of view of a viewer?
Well, as Mr. Gautam was saying, I feel in a nutshell, and as you remarked also in the beginning, because of globalization, the most pronounced impact has been the corporatization of the media. Now, with corporatization has come capital intensiveness in the industry. There has come also competitiveness. Now, all this has changed the profile and the content and the image of the media. Unfortunately, we cannot corporatize the government. So we have not been able to keep pace with either the technology or with the professionalism which is required. Okay. And I must say that from the viewer's point of view also, or from the government's point, we find that research and training are lacking, more in the government, but I would also say to some extent in the media also. Because we do not have adequate number of trained media persons to cater to this fast growing industry.
I partly agree with Mr. Jaspal. You see, what has happened is the number of channels, number of newspapers has increased at such a fast pace that the training institutes at one stage had reached a stage that everyone coming out of an institute was getting a job. The reason being, there were so many jobs available, so many new channels had come, so many newspapers had come, and in the process, we got raw people to handle responsible positions. Well, you know, nobody came with all the experiences. Everybody had a first day in his work. Every anchor, every reporter, when he posed questions, he could not be that experienced. Experience he would gain over a period of time. So in the process, of course, sometimes quality does suffer because of that. But now looking at it from the angle of the government, government's tools are, I would say, so they have not been able to upgrade their tools. The media has its own expectations. 24 hours a day, all the 7 days a week. We have to feed the channels, we have to feed the newspapers. Has the government improved to that extent that it can feed that media? Has it acquired those tools, as Mr. Jaspal himself
That
conceded?
gets me to Mr. Sudan. I would like to ask you, it's said that the departmental members of Public Relations Department, they're not trained professionally and therefore they lack the professionalism and the expertise. Do you agree with that? How well is the government training these professionals?
I agree with you. In the Publication Department at the moment, we have a shortage of officers, about 37 or so. And at the same time, it's not possible with the increase and manifold increase in media and electronic people that we can cater to each and every person. However, the efforts have been made by the department to ensure that whatever short-term courses can be made available for our people in the department, efforts are being made and we'll try to do it.
But let me add to what Mr. Sudan has said. The shortage of people he is talking about, that means you have less number of people to feed the content which the news channels and newspapers are looking for. To that extent, you are vacating the space, and that space has to be occupied by someone. That someone is, media has to look for other sources. So government's viewpoint will be less and less projected in the media than the government would like to.
That's right. That's right.
Well, coming to you, Mr. Gautam again, it's said that the media is becoming more and more commercial these days and it tries to concentrate more on sensational news items, at the same time sacrificing content. How much do you agree with this statement?
Well, look at it from this angle, that the name of the game is sell. You must sell.
But do you mean to sacrifice content is part of the name of the game?
You have to go into the history of it. That is, more than 50 years back, the aim of the newspapers was only one, that is to get freedom for the country. Okay. That phase is over. Now it's a phase of capitalism. Nobody has, no print or electronic media owner or company has claimed that they are there for charity. Everybody is there to make a fast buck. And in the process, if compromises have been made, one can understand that you are competing. In the process of competing, sometimes you find something very sensational, which should not be there. Well, as a media person, I can say, I may not like something happening, but then it is freedom for everyone. You may not like it, Mr. Sudan may not like it, Mr. Jaspal may not like it, but something is there.
I would differ a little bit on freedom. You cannot have absolute freedom. If we take, even in the corporate sector, we have competitive regulatory bodies which ensure that there is fair competition.
No, there's a lot of
so
scope for the debate
cannot have
on that.
absolutely unrestricted display of sometimes unethical or content which is not suitable for viewing by family and children. So to that extent, there has to be either some self-regulation or otherwise the government will have to intervene.
Mr. Jaspal, either we have freedom or we don't have freedom. In between there is nothing. Yes, I agree here that some self-regulatory body, but then that has to be left to the media itself. No government can impose restrictions and then say that the media is free. Yes, there is scope for a body which should be self-regulatory. How that comes into being, that is a question of another debate.
Okay, Mr. Jaspal, you, the Principal Secretary of the Public Relations Department, it is said that the Public Relations Department these days concentrates more on propaganda and publicity rather than public relations. How would you defend this accusation?
Partly it is because we lack professionalism a professional person would skillfully cloak his propaganda as public relations. But because probably they are not professional, so it appears to be propaganda. And if we are more professional, I'm sure we will be able to, do our job, which is to give information to the public and to educate the public.
But at the same time, you're justifying that you do more propaganda and publicity
No,
rather than
it
publicity.
is strictly not propaganda, though there is a thin dividing line and depends upon the perception of the viewer. But as I said, if we are not professional, if we cannot do a job very skillfully, it would appear to be propaganda.
The
let
basic
me
job
add-
of the PR department is to ensure that policies and programs of the government are properly projected in print media as well as on the electronic media. For that matter, if you accuse us of holding the line like that, I think that's not true. Ultimately, the government which runs the show, the policy and programs of the government have to be shown to the people at large.
Mr. Mohan, how would you
But
respond?
let me add to that. Any professional media man, media person, would always be able to differentiate that where the news ends and from where the propaganda begins. So, to that extent, we media people are also responsible. We have to ensure, well, if a government has done a good job, well, that should be put before the people. But PR cannot be substitute for good work. I think this every public relation man has to bear in mind that
I would like to get the opinion of all three of you on this particular question. Is the public relation department and media losing its credibility among the viewers these days? I will start from Mr. Gautam.
yes and no. Yes is because over the, as I explained to you, the way we have expanded in such a short time, there have been drawbacks in the media. But at the same time, government cannot wash its hand that, well, we don't have tools.
Okay.
So, we have a deficiency, but their deficiency is bigger than ours.
Well, as far as media is concerned, I would say that it depends from organization to organization. If you are not objective, if you are not fair, then definitely people can see through and they would say that this paper or this medium is following a particular biased partisan line. Similarly, as he's saying, people can also differentiate. We may write, issue as many press notes. It cannot be, PR I feel is exaggeration of truth. So there has to be some basic truth and then we can exaggerate that.
I think this question can be better left to the viewers as far as the credibility of media and PR is concerned.
Well, thank you, panelists, for your views and the lively discussion we had. I guess we still don't have an answer to the big question, so we leave it up to you. Hope you enjoyed our discussion today. Thank you.